Hi there. This is Miss Joan from Merit Global Academy, and today we're going to be learning grade 8 math. So this is the first lesson in the series, so let's go. So what we're going to be learning today is solving two-step equations. This is pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty basic. So we're going to be learning how to solve two-step equations. So the first thing we need to do is to learn what two-step equations are. So a two-step equation is an algebraic expression that takes just 2 steps to solve. So a two-step equation is an algebraic expression that requires us to use just 2 steps to solve them. So they're pretty easy to solve. And these 2 steps are divided. We have like basic different things we do in these 2 steps. Okay, so that's what makes it 2 steps. So before we go to learn how to solve these 2-step equations, let's look at some examples of 2-step equations. So we have 2x plus 3 is equal to 7, 0.5y plus 4 is equal to 2, and 4a plus 3 is equal to 12. So all of these are examples of equations, and they are also examples of 2-step equations. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is how to solve this 2-step equation, these 2-step equations, okay? So to solve the 2-step equation, first we need to, like I said earlier, it's solved in 2 steps. So the first step is to perform the inverse of addition or subtraction. Then the second step is to perform the inverse of multiplication or division. So that's just the basic, the easy way to solve a 2-step equation. So in the first step, we perform the inverse of addition or subtraction depending on our equation. And then in the next step, we perform the inverse of multiplication or division. Okay, so let's solve an example. Solve this equation, 2x plus 1 is equal to 9. So like I said earlier, in the first step, we need to perform the inverse of either addition or subtraction. So looking at our equation, we want the unknown to stand alone. So we look at the number that is standing with it in the equation, which is plus 1. So the opposite of plus 1 is minus 1. So that's the inverse. The opposite of something is also its inverse. So the inverse of plus 1 is minus 1. So we subtract 1 from both sides of the equation so that 2x can stand alone. And then we divide both sides by 2. So let's look at the example in detail. So 2x plus 1 is equal to 9. Like I said, we're going to subtract 1. We're going to do the inverse of addition or subtraction. In this case, we're doing the inverse of addition. So we're subtracting 1 from both sides of the equation. So we have 2x plus 1 minus 1 equal to 9 minus 1. So this is going to cancel out. Plus 1 minus 1 is going to give us 0. 9 minus 1 is going to give us 8. So we bring our equation down. And then we have 2x is equal to 8. The 8 that we already solved 9 minus 1 to give us. So 2x is equal to 8. And then the next thing we do, this is the second step of the equation. The first step was to find the inverse of, solve the inverse of 1, which is minus 1. And then we did that to both sides. So the next step is to do the inverse of multiplication or division. In this case, is the inverse of division. So 2x over 2 equals 8 over 2. Divide both sides by 2. So 2 cancel 2, and then 8 divided by 2 is going to give us 4. So x is equivalent to 4. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. So x, pardon me, is equal to 4. So this is the first example of how to solve a 2-step equation. Okay, so x is equal to 4. So the next example, we're going to solve this equation. 4r plus 15 is equal to 27. 4r plus 15 is equal to 27. So let's solve it together. First thing we need to do is to look at the number standing with our unknown. We have 4r plus 15 is equal to 27. So it's the opposite of that number on the same side with our unknown. So in this case, it's 15 plus 15. So the inverse or the opposite of plus 15 is minus 15. So we subtract 15 from both sides of the equation. So we have 4r plus 15 minus 15 is equal to 27 minus 15. So 4r plus 15 minus 15 is equal to 27 minus 15. So this is the first step. And then you solve 27 minus 15 is going to give us 12. And then 15 plus 15 minus 15 is going to cancel out themselves, so it's going to give us 0. So we go on to the next step of the equation, which is to write down 4r is equal to 12, and then we perform the inverse of either division or multiplication. So in this case, we're also going to perform the inverse of division. Sorry, the inverse of multiplication. So 4r divided by 4 is equal to 12 divided by 4. So here we're dividing both sides by 4. So 4 will cancel out 4, and then 12 divided by 4 is going to give us 3, and r is equivalent to 3. So this is pretty simple. The first step, you have to either add or subtract to both sides. And then the next step, you either have to divide or multiply for both sides. So in the first example and in this example, we subtracted in the first step, and then the second step, we divided. So some other examples will not follow that same pattern, but just remember that they're going to follow 2 steps, either addition or subtraction first, and then division or multiplication next. Okay, so you're going to do this on your own. Minus 6p minus 29 is equal to 7. So take note of the number that is standing with our unknown, which is p, and then try to take that to the other side and then solve for the equation. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little time to solve that, and then we'll do it together, see if you're correct. Okay, so let's do it together. So minus 6p minus 29 is equal to 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, in this case, the inverse. Add 29 to both sides of the equation. So we have minus 6p minus 29 plus 29 is equal to 7 plus 29. And then minus 29 plus 29 is going to give us 0. 7 plus 29 is going to give us 36. So minus 6p is equal to 36. Step 1. Step 2, divide both sides by minus 6. We always want our unknown to stand alone, so that's why we are dividing. We have minus 6p is equal to 36, so we have to divide by minus 6 by the coefficient, which is negative 6. And then, after doing that, minus 6 will cancel out minus 6, so they will p to stand alone, and then 36 divided by minus 6 is going to give us minus 6. So p is equal to minus 6. Okay, so I hope you've understood all that we've covered and learned in this topic and in this lesson. So this is something for you to practice more so that you can get your 2-step equation skills high. 12y minus 17 is equal to 31. 7 brackets h minus 22 close the brackets is equal to 56. 4k plus 4 is equal to minus 8. So remember to use 2 steps. First, either addition or subtraction. Next, either division or multiplication. I hope you enjoyed this lesson today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and press the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos.